Hi there. Very good morning and good afternoon to all of you, depending on wherever what you're watching me, and a good evening to all of you. If you're in India, uh, remember that as I promised, so I'm live around 9 p.m. Was just looking at one of the YouTube updates with tax information that I was going through, so a little bit late with that. So today I'll bring to you a couple of things. Two sectors which could really perform in the next couple of years. I have talked about it, but this time around, I'll talk about some different stocks in the same sector, about five or six stocks. And then we'll answer your queries as well. Markets overall is looking buoyant and as expected has been doing pretty well. I'm good, Surya. How are you? So let more people join in. Today I'm doing an evening session. Let's see how it goes. So if more people join in evening on a weekday, I'll do the live session in evening, and hopefully things if things are all fine, then I'll do it in the evening time, maybe at 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. on every Thursday. The Sunday session will be the same at around 11:30, 11:45 a.m. India time. Uh, Again, I would like to thank my supporters on Patreon who have been there. I would like to thank all those who have left Patreon also, but supported me all the way through, but keep leaving, I mean, every month. It would be nice if you leave or discontinue with the, you can say, pledges and just let me know as to what are the reasons. Some of them have done. That would help me improve the Patreon system even better. So if any other people want to join in, the link will be in the description. So they can just join from there by clicking and paying through their credit card, and they can leave the membership midway through the month whenever they want. So that's how it is. The cycle starts from evening of first of every month India time. So around you can take the membership on the second of every month, and that will be a monthly deduction of $10 that will take place from Patreon. All right. So the sectors that I wanted to talk to you about, let's come to that, and then I'll answer your queries as well. Uh, See, couple of sectors, and I've talked that before also, and you can guess that, which I believe could be huge for the next 2 years, for 2021 and 2022. And the rise has already started. The stocks are already up 40, 50, 60% from the lows of this year and the lows in November, December. One is autos, and the second is IT, and especially slightly you can say larger small cap IT or mid cap IT. I believe if somebody wants to play safe, want to play it with an idea of making 40-50% over the next 2 years, they can look at autos and IT, and the companies that I'll talk about. Again, do your own research. The disclaimers apply, and probably consult your financial advisor. But in my opinion, these companies could give you very good returns over the next 18 to 24 months. So let's go with IT first. So there are six stocks I want to talk to you about for a minute, 2 minutes each. Uh, Four in the auto space and two in the IT space. The two stocks are my picks in the IT space, and most of you can guess that. One is Tata Elxsi. I believe the consolidation part is going on at the moment. It could go on for the next couple of weeks, 3 weeks, and that would be even better for the company, for the stock. The way it has risen from 1500 levels, went to 2900, 3000, and now is in a corrective mood. Uh, Around 2600, very good levels to accumulate between 2500, 2600. Keeping a stop loss, deep stop loss of 2000. I believe that the stock is headed to well beyond 3000. I think 4000 is possible on Tata Elxsi in the next couple of years. 4000 to 4400 is very much possible in the next couple of years. Just that you need to have the patience and the courage to hold with a deep stop loss, ready to take the, you can say, loss to 15-20%. You can make 50 to 60% in the stock. Very good company into different domains and into AI as well, and into, you can say, animation, and one of the very few companies that are into animation technology, etc., and doing extremely well into autos as well, provides a technology for automobiles. So vast array of products, vast array of, you can say, clients. uh, this is just a normal correction that's happening in Tata Elxsi, and an opportunity for people to get into. A second stock in the IT space that I like is Larsen and Toubro Infotech. I talked about it with my patron members at 3,500, 3,600. I hope they got benefited from it. Today, the stock is around 4,200. I just had a look at it, and I'm surprised the way it has moved from that lows of 3,600 or so. Those were very, very attractive levels to get into L&T Infotech. Even now, I believe around 4,000, very good levels to get into. I still believe that 3,500 will not be broken, and I won't be surprised in the next couple of years it will scale past 6,000 from these levels by March 2023. So a couple of 2 years, and a very safe bet in this space. Debt-free company making very good revenue growth, and the profit growth is also coming through. Operationally very efficient company, and is growing extremely fast. So these two IT companies can be looked at even now. It's pretty good to get into. And these companies, once they become even bigger, will have, you can say, people who are large investors would like to get into the stock even further. So these are the two IT companies that I like. Coming to autos, I have split autos into two parts: auto ancillary and pure auto plays. Pure original auto plays, or OEMs, a couple of stocks that I like. Eicher Motors is one, and it is around 2,600 at the moment, 2,500, 2,600. I did not check this exact price right now, but I believe that these levels, as well as the levels around 2,450, 2,500, if there is a dip, keep on accumulating. Once things normalize, once everything normalize, people will have vaccine, most probably, inshallah, by December. Things will be much better. So next year could be huge for something like an Eicher Motors, an aspirational company, a bike that everybody wants to buy, and with personal mobility being the name of the game. I would still believe that people will get into high-end motorbikes. Yes, they are having competition from other manufacturers. Plus, there is issue of higher oil prices, which is going to hurt their business because of the mileage that the bike gives. I agree with that, but things will improve only from the here on in. As far as, you can say, problems are concerned, and that is the reason why the stock has fallen. Otherwise, you would have seen Aisha at 52-week high. So again, dips are opportunities to buy into Aisha. I will not be surprised if you see the stock at 3,200 to 3,500 in the next couple of years. So a very good opportunity to make around 40% on iShare. A second stock in the original manufacturers category that I like is, of course, Maruti. I've liked it at 6,700, 6,800. It had consolidated around 7,000 and is moving up again. If you get any sort of 4 5% dip from these levels, around 7,000 to 6,800, very good opportunity to buy if you get it. If it surges past 7,500 also, then you can buy, because that is a sort of a resistance. And I'm pretty confident that the 10,000 mark of the all-time high will be taken out in the next couple of years in Maruti. Yes, things are up and down. Yes, sales are up and down, but that will just continue. The margins will keep getting better because of the curtailed expenses that most of the auto companies have come up with, because of the taxes that have been curtailed by the government. I think numbers will look even better from 2022 onwards, when things will become better across the nation, hopefully. So, again, Maruti is my pick in this original manufacturer space. Coming to auto ancillary, and two picks there. So, I have already talked about Motherson Sumi. I have position there. I'll not talk about that company, but I'll talk about two companies, and I'll not talk about Endurance also, because I've talked about it. Motherson and Endurance have always been my top pick in auto ancillary. But there are two other smaller auto ancillary companies. that most of the people do ask me about, and I believe they are a very good quality companies that could be invested into. If you have a little bit of risk appetite, you can get into a Jamna Auto at 68, 69, uh, with a stop loss at 60. First target is 75, second target is 90, and I won't be surprised if 120 comes around in the next 18 months or so. It goes past 120. Very good gamut of products they have. They are into buses, heavy commercial vehicles, light commercial vehicles. They are into, you can say, three wheelers, two wheelers, four wheelers. Everything that you look at, Jamna Auto is there, and a very decent company, has risen a lot in terms of sales and profitability over the last 6 7 years. Yes, 2 years, between 2 to 3 years, between 2018 Jan till the pandemic, things were extremely challenging, but now things are looking up, and technically speaking, 60 had been a very huge resistance, as it has been a huge, you can say, support between 2013 to 2017. So I believe 60 may not be taken out. It could go there if there is a market crash, but these are decent levels. These 10 rupee range, this 10 rupee range between 60 and 70, very good range to get into. If you are lucky, you get the stock at 65, 66, get into it. And I think 90 and then 120 is possible on the stock over the next 2 years. Uh, so that's one. Second stock in the mid cap IT space that I like. The second stock that, sorry, mid cap auto ancillary space that I like is, so I've written here, and just give me a time. Uh, so basically, see, these companies will keep on doing extremely well as things get better. So the second stock in this list is Sundaram Fasteners. I have always liked this company. Never got the opportunity to buy it for one reason or the other. I went into consumer stocks and other sort of stocks. But Sundaram Fasteners had consolidated appreciably between 370, 375 till 500 recently, and has completely broken out of it over the last 3 4 weeks. Very good company, with its business and revenues increasing from abroad. Most of their business used to come from India, but now the businesses are coming from abroad, and things are looking very good for for the company as a whole. The stock is around 800, 820. It has just taken out the all-time high, I suppose, of 770, 780. I think these are decent levels to get into. If you have the risk appetite, have a 20% stop loss, a deep stop loss from these levels at 650, 660, and we can see 1600 on the stock in the next couple of years. I won't be surprised if the stock doubles from here, with the kind of business that Sundaram has. It is just that these companies, which are smaller in stature, require the tailwind of of the industry as a whole, that there is a bull run in the industry, and then you will see these stocks fly 5, 10, 15% in a day. I mean, I'm talking of Jamna Auto and something like Sundaram Fasteners. So very good auto ancillary companies, these two, and there are many others that are present there. So it's not that the list stops here. Yes, my top two picks I've already talked about, but these two companies are also extremely good. So these are the companies that I have brought forward for you, and hopefully I'll bring the same going forward after researching a bit more. That's why I would request you to kindly support me on Patreon, and kindly support me here as well on YouTube with super chat, super stickers, and whatever you can. That helps me get motivated, both, you can say, emotionally as well as financially, to continue my endeavor of helping you all into investments into Indian stocks. So these were my picks. I'm ready to answer your queries. Kindly use the super chat and super sticker feature. That will help me grow the channel. That will help you also ask me questions in greater detail and eke out answers from me in greater detail. So let's just answer some of the queries that are coming in. And this is the Patreon link that I would like to share with you. You can get the $10 membership here, and I'll answer all your queries, whatever you have. Plus, you'll have access to podcast, my watch list, my portfolio. The watch list is a 25 stock watch list, etc. So Get on there, and whenever you want to just remove pledges, you can do that every month. All right. I think CAMS are expensive, so I would avoid CAMS, Nudra. That would be my suggestion. Yes, CDSL is a very good company for long term. I believe BSC is also a very good investment from a 7, 8, 10 year perspective. So similar kind of you can say business, although slightly different, but yes, these are good. IEX has always been pretty good. So it's just that because of the stock up move that people are looking at IEX at the moment. But IEX, even when the energy, you can say the domain or the sector and the power sector was not doing well, the company and the stock really did well. So I believe it's one of the better, you can say, companies to get into. Suzlon is a complete avoid. No matter what happens, just avoid Suzlon. It has been a wealth destroyer and may remain so. DMart expensive even from a long term point of view. I would say that let it correct deeply, maybe because of one you can say iffy result or something like that. Let it happen, and then you get into a DMart. Frontier Springs very attractive at current market price, but again, do your own analysis and get in a disclaimer. I am invested into it from a 2 3 year point of view. Positive on the stock. Britannia, very good levels to get into it. It went to 3250 or so. Those were even better levels. If you get the stock to something like 3200, these are very good levels to get into. 3000 is a strong support on Britannia. Yes, the debt has increased, but I believe the management would continue to perform well for the investors. PNG Health and Hygiene, good company. Again, a portfolio kind of a stock that you can get into and probably do well when you are invested long term into the stock. Dr. Reddy's, very good levels to again get into. I think pharma, I have not talked about in this video, but I've talked about earlier. I think pharma will also perform individually with some of the stocks. I've already talked about the stocks that I like. You can watch my video on pharma as well. Subex, in my opinion, is an avoid, although the stock has performed. IRCTC is interesting, so I have been always bullish on it. Disclaimer: I have positions in it. 1360, 1350 were very very good levels, and if you look at the stock chart, it has been a tabletop stock chart, and for 6 8 months it did nothing, and look at the move it has shown then after the consolidation. It is at all time high. I have no doubt that the stock is headed to 2500 at least from these levels over the next 6 months. But again, the decline may happen, so it is not not the point that the stock will not fall. I think stock will fall, but over the 6 8 month period, you will see the stock up 20 25% from even from here. Varun Beverages is an avoid. See, because of the debt and because of a lot of issues that has happened in the past, I would avoid something like Varun Beverages. Uh, so thanks a lot for your super chat. Uh, Vamsi, Airtel, what are the threats? Is it good for long term? Yes, it is very good for long term. You can do SIP, you can buy as a lump sum and just sit on it. I think again Airtel has come back to levels which are extremely attractive. If I had money, I would have bought into Airtel at these levels of 525 30. Consolidation is going on. It is just that the price hikes are not coming from the company. We have had the sale of the spectrum, etc., in which the company would have spent money that would come into the balance sheet. So people are worried that the numbers might not be that great. uh, Really, there are no, you can say, justifiable explanation as to why the stock keep falling, even with high net worth individuals and large investors invested into it. I can tell you very frankly. But I believe that over a period of 3 years, or at least not 3 years, let's say 2 years, even 1100 is possible on Airtel. I'm still very positive on the stock. And thank you for your contribution. All right. So there's one question again I missed. Can you post that question again? There's someone who has given a contribution of some amount through super chat. So I'm trying to search that up. All right. Post that again and I'll answer that question. There are many queries that are coming in at the moment. I'm happy that more viewers are joining in the evening. Just Dial is coming out with more products, so you can do your own research. I have not done that. I'm just avoiding the company because I don't know the stock, so that's why I'm avoiding something like Just Dial. But otherwise, if you feel like the business is prompt enough to probably get into, then you should be looking to get into the stock. Yes. All right. Rajesh Exports is a complete avoid with the kind of business that it has. If you really want to play the gold theme, you can still get into Titan. Titan has not done that. You can't say Titan has really gone out of the range. You can get into it rather than a Rajesh Export. Wheels India, good company, not it has not performed. If you have the patience, you can buy the stock. I think once the real bull run in auto ancillary begins, Wheels India will also perform pretty well. L&T Tech, I like L&T Infotech more than L&T Tech. Uh, Good company, Vertos Advertising, and I believe that the valuations are stretched. So if there is a 15-20% fall, one can look at it with a risk, but not at these levels. I think again, Container Corporation has run up a lot. So wait for consolidation to buy into. Company is top class. So yes, it's one of the better, you can say, PSU companies that you can look at. I've already talked about DMart. All right. You can hold. I think Haranba, you can hold that stock if you have got it in an IPO, etc. But you cannot have a fresh buying in the stock at these levels. That's my opinion. ITC at these levels can be accumulated, but I would prefer not to, and I don't talk about sin stocks in that manner. Uh, and to just take you back, ITC has never been a wealth creator, and the reason for that is the cigarette business. And if they probably hive that off, then the company would end up doing much better and getting garnering more employees. Oh, sorry, garnering more investors. I'm sorry for that. Kilpest is a play for 2025, 2024. So 3-year play like that. If you have that in mind, these are good levels to get into. I think 250 will be a good support, but I really don't know where it is headed. It's a very, very micro cap company. I'm invested in the stock. So do your own analysis, and if you have the risk appetite, you can buy some, but don't over leverage on these sort of stocks. All right. HTMC, AMC, I would say HDFC Life is a very good long-term investment. HDFC AMC, you can look at if there is a trading play available, and you can probably get into HDFC AMC. All right. HFCL for me is an avoid. I think there are much better companies that one can look at. For me, HFCL is an avoid. Yeah. India Bulls housing, I feel one should not look at buying into, you can say, most of the financials. That's my opinion on India Bulls housing. So I'm sorry, I'm having some technical issue with the internet connection here. That's why there is a glitch in the stream. So sorry for that. All right. Alias Jain, I would believe that something like Tata Chemicals is very good for long term with the kind of, you can say, activities they are doing with the electric vehicles, etc. So probably Tata Chemicals is one that you can probably look to get into. All right. Positive on Tata Chemicals, Sumit. I believe Tata Chemicals will end up doing pretty well. All right, guys. I think the live stream has hanged, so I'll just end this session here. Thanks a lot for supporting, and kindly support me on Patreon and like and subscribe my channel. Hit the bell icon. Thank you. Yeah, so the live stream had stopped. So I was about to end the stream because of the way that it has just stopped. So I missed out on many of the questions. Two of the people who have just given the super chat and had written the questions, so it got stopped there. One, my point is that Tata Chemicals is a top class company. One should get into Tata Chemicals on declines and the way they are doing things for the EV space and making batteries, etc. Nothing has come openly on online, but the way the stock has moved, the way larger players are getting into it, I think there's something big happening in Tata Chemicals. It is just that you need to wait for declines to get into the stock. So that's my opinion on Tata uh, LXC. So, all right, guys, thank you. Thanks a lot for being online and for supporting me. Kindly subscribe to my channel, hit the bell icon so you can get my video straight away when I post it. Thank you.